One time I went out, and this is before the show came on, and I was out with my boys, and we're at some club, and Zach comes running up to me, and he's geeked that he's in the club. And I've never seen him in a club before. I had never seen him before.
Yeah, Donald was like a guy who went out a lot.
And I'd never seen him.
Go out a lot.
And he was like, can you believe? And we had, I'm sitting at we had done the pilot and everything.
I was like, I got in.
He's in the club. And I'm looking at him like, holy. He auditioned quite a few times, if I remember correctly, but I auditioned 3 times. I auditioned for the casting directors, then I auditioned for Bill and the casting directors, and then I auditioned for the studio and network. My auditioning was very straightforward. It was day 1, and I wore the same outfit to every audition. I remember that too. Day 1, day 2, and then I was in front of the studio and network. And I think that was Jeff Zucker's first audition experience with actors was my audition with Sarah Chalk. I remember that.
I'm Elliot.
Elliot.
Yeah, don't do that.
You read with Sarah?
No, I didn't read with Sarah, but she was.
That day.
She and I knew who Sarah was because she was
Second Becky.
Exactly on Roseanne.
Did I hear right? We're going on vacation?
Ladies and gentlemen, the role of Becky, originally played by Lisa Goranson, then by Sarah Chalk, then by Lisa Goranson, will be played this evening by Sarah Chalk.
And so I knew that right away, and I was like, oh, she's famous. And then the other 2 that were auditioning for Turk, I knew Victor Tagande, shout out Victor Tagande, from Can't Hardly Wait. We had done that movie together. And then I knew Sirach Lofton, because we were on the same lot on Paramount. He was doing Star Trek Deep Space Nine. He played,
Worf.
No, that'd be awesome if he did. Lieutenant Worf, but he played Cisco's son, and he and I used to play basketball a lot together. And so I remember when the audition came up and we were both testing for it, I remember in my mind thinking, I gotta take Sirach down, and then when I saw Victor, I said, I gotta take Victor down too. This is gonna be a dark day for these guys. And then I blew the audition. Yeah. And then I proceeded to blow the audition. And I was lucky because Bill Lawrence said to me straight up, you blew the audition. You really did not.
You came in really big, right? You were nervous.
I was very big and everything was very, and he was like, I need you to do it like you did it which is something that he uses now. He said, I need you to do it like you did it in the second audition when it was just you and me. And it was you were calm, you were collected, and do it that way. And I went into the audition and I did it that way. And then by that evening, I got the part.
I don't know what it is, but he's got it.
Mine was different because Donald, well, first of all, Donald had been in some big things already. So I think I had to climb a further ladder because I was, I had done a couple things, but I was waiting tables and certainly not living off being a working actor at the time. And I think I auditioned 6 times total. And then I kept getting further and further. And just like Donald, I wore the same outfit every time. Once I started getting to like audition 3, I was like, what did I do yesterday? Oh, I actually got on the treadmill. So I would do the treadmill at the exact same time. I was like, I think I ate this breakfast. I was so superstitious about it. I did every exact same thing. And then I found out I got it.
Today isn't just any other day. It's my first day. I'm the man.
Tell them what happened the first time when you auditioned, though.
Well, the very first time I auditioned for a man named Stephen O'Neill in New York, and my tape was not good. I didn't do a good job, and I felt it didn't go well. And then I was just talking about this with Bill Lawrence, who we keep referencing Bill, that's the creator of the show. It was like the tape went missing or something, or I don't know. It was so bad that it never, I don't know. No one responded to it. No one saw it. And when I came out to LA, my agent said, they're not even they're seeing so many people. They're not even gonna know. Just go in again, and this time, crush it. And that's what happened. I just went in again like I had never gone in before, because they don't want you coming in if they've already said no to you. But they had so many people coming in that my agent was just like, I don't think they're gonna know. Just come. So I went in again, and then I got it.
Turk! Hey!
Go ahead.
Jenny!
When did you guys first meet? What was that like? Describe
It
it.
was the table read, which
At
was
Bill Lawrence's house.
Bill and Krista
Krista's house.
Miller's house.
Yeah.
And we made eye contact, and it was like, oh, and I was like, oh my God, it's the guy from Clueless.
That's it. You want to play games? You want to play games? I'm calling your mother.
Wait, hold up. No.
And no, we instantly just started cracking each other up.
Dude, you are like the best friend ever.
Hell yeah.
It was a really good vibe.
I'll tell you when it really clicked. Okay, there was 2 times. So one time I went out, and this is before the show came on, and I was out with my boys, and we're at some club, and Zach comes running up to me, and he's geeked that he's in the club. And I've never seen him in a club before. I had never seen him before.
Yeah, Donald was like a guy who went out a lot.
And I'd never
didn't
seen him
go out a lot.
And he was like, can you believe? And we had, I'm sitting at we had done the pilot and everything.
I was like, I got in.
He's in the club. And I'm looking at him like, holy. After we did the pilot, you know how it goes. You never think you're going to see anybody again. This is what it is. You did the pilot. The chances of getting picked up by a network are so slim, right? And so I saw him, and my friends were like, who the hell is that? I was like, that's some dude that I did a pilot
That's some
with.
dude? That's
Yeah.
what you said?
The pilot hadn't gone anywhere yet. I was like, that's some dude I did a pilot with. And they were like,
I don't
oh,
like
okay.
hearing that you were so dismissive of me.
You were so, look, I'm not even going to get into the way you approached me, but I was dismissive and I apologize. I'm sorry now. In hindsight,
20 years later, my feelings are...
sorry. So anyway, so I saw him out, and I was like, I can't believe Zach got into this club. And then we did season 1, and after season 1, we were in New York City living in a loft together as roommates.
Yeah, we were both working this summer, first summer after the first season of Scrubs. We were working, he was doing a movie called
Uptown Girls.
Uptown Girls.
Brittany Murphy.
And I was doing
Code
Shakespeare in the Park, 12th night. And so we rented a loft together and lived in Soho in this big, giant loft together.
Chris Turk's my best friend. We roomed together in college. We roomed together in med school. Hell, we even got accepted by the same hospital.
I was a kid in a candy store. I couldn't believe my dreams were coming true. I mean, being on a network comedy was a dream. Being able to do Shakespeare in the Park was a dream. All these wonderful things were happening, and we were just having so much fun. And ever since I saw the movie Big with Tom Hanks, being able to stay in a giant New York loft was a dream.
Yeah.
I mean, and I remember he had like arcade games. We had ping pong, but I just felt like everything was coming, all my dreams were coming true, and we were having the best time.
We're a surgeon and a doc above it all.
I just remember thinking after season 1, thinking, wow, this guy was really prepared for all of this.
That's enough.
Sorry. It's a very big moment for me.
This guy's really bright. He has like this bright energy. He's very smart. He's really quick-witted too.
Hello.
It was interesting to see because I hadn't met anyone like that before, you know, and I had worked with a bunch of people, but I hadn't met anyone where it was just like, there's an energy that this dude is giving off, and it's very bright, you know what I mean? And I remember thinking that the first time. That was my first impression of him, like, wow, this guy's really ready for all of this. Yeah.
I don't know that I was ready, but thank you.
But you handled it really well. You know, when you move out to Los Angeles, you don't necessarily have a plan for what you want your career to be. It seemed like he knew exactly what it was. Because within a year, Garden State had already been formulated and everything like that. And it was just like, wow, you knew what you wanted to do. There was a plan when you got put on. Not a lot of people have that.
I love you.
It just was the most fun thing ever. We would crack each other up, and Bill Lawrence was just a great mentor and teacher, and we all just loved each other. You know, you hear stories about shows where people don't get along. It was the polar opposite. All the leads of the show loved each other. We just had the best time, and I couldn't wait to get to work. Couldn't wait to make people laugh.
Have you experienced anything like that since?
No, it was particularly unique because we were so green and wide-eyed that the pressure wasn't on us. You know, it was only way to go was up. You know, if it didn't work, it didn't work. But then it started to work, and it was just really thrilling. You know, there was no social media, so we didn't. You just knew what the rating. I guess we heard what the ratings were good, and it wasn't like there was like chatter or anything. You just kind of like.
I will say, the response that we got from our peers was really awesome.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Going to like Nintendo parties or parties like that where there'd be a bunch of other working actors and stuff, and them being like, dude, your show is so good. I'm really sort of like how when I first saw the Game of Thrones cast, how I ran up on them. That was happening to us. When I look back at season 1, some of the things that I never thought I'd get to do, things that I never thought would ever happen or that I wanted to happen, happened. From swimming in Orlando Jones's pool.
That was one of your dreams?
Dude, look. He was the 7-Up guy at the time, and I had never...
Was it 7-Up or Sprite?
Hey, my man, make 7-Up yours. It's 7-Up.
We all have dreams, kids.
And
Donald's was
no,
swim in Orlando Jones's
no, it wasn't. Listen, I can't get deep into the story, but we once partied at Orlando Jones's house, and it was one of the dopest parties we had ever been to in our lives at the time. Since then, we've gone on to go to plenty of other parties, but we had never experienced that. And so that was really, that was
right to work, I think.
And right after, I remember.
I think we went from Orlando Jones.
No, you went from the pool to the. I remember I didn't have to be at work until like 4 PM, and he had like a 6 a.m. call.
Yeah.
And at 4:30 in the morning, we're in the pool swimming.
I went to work straight from Orlando Jones's pool.
JD, you just don't have that edgy, mean streak that I'm attracted to.
You were saying?
Dude, what the hell? My favorite episode is when JD has something like 6 hours to say goodbye to this one girl who he's been infatuated with for the entire season.
Played by Heather Graham.
Should we get out of here?
You just need to clear it with one person first.
Me too. I don't know why he had to pick my favorite episode. There's so much funny stuff in there. The whole point is that, like, Sarah Chalk's character gives me a permission slip
I'll write you a note.
that our relationship's over, and if Heather Graham's character's okay with it, we're allowed to hook up. But she's leaving town, so Donald and I go on this quest all night long to try and find Heather Graham to give her my permission slip that we can hook up.
Didn't you improvise one of the best lines ever? Where were you?
I was treed by that coyote.
I was treed by a coyote. You got your phone?
He took it.
Yeah, and that was the very first episode I ever got to direct. And because Bill is so competitive, he gave me the hardest episode of Scrubs that's ever been written.
Oh my God. I'll never get down there before she leaves. This is the worst moment of my life.
It was like a whole quest. It was epic.
Or is it the greatest moment of your life?
You're right. Give me that gown.
We were like shooting nights on the Universal lot. There was like there were all these stunts.
Go get it, buddy!
There was a zip line, and we got to shoot an adventure, between him, myself, and this one girl, and it was a lot of fun.
Molly?
It was my first chance to prove to Bill that I could do a good job directing the show. It's a very good episode. It's one of my favorites. Donald wouldn't necessarily read the scripts back then. He promised that in the new reboot he's going to read.
I'm going to read every script. I looked at it like, if it's fresh in my mind,
that's just bullshit.
When I get there, I can do a great job. I was wrong.
Yeah. There's one thing I was directing, and Donald had a big speech, and he hadn't looked at it. And so when you're directing something, after a certain amount of takes where someone's not getting something, you're often like, shake it up. Let's shake it up. You tell the actor, we're going to go tighter. We're going tighter, and you'll get it. And so I just kept going tighter on Donald. Then by the time he finally got the speech, I was like, here. And by the way, the speech opened up the scene. So if you're watching this episode, you're like, why would the director choose to open the scene in a extreme close-up?
My face.
It's because it was a bold choice.
Yeah.
Because that's when Donald finally learned the lines.
It worked.
Donald sometimes will use takes 1 through 6 to learn the lines.
Yes. Rehearsal. And then take 1 through 6. I remember that day. See, that's the other day. That's one day I remember. There was a bunch of Jell-O pudding.
Pudding, score!
Come on, let's go.
And I go to Zach, I go, why are we eating Jell-O?
Yeah, he truly didn't know.
I didn't
know. He didn't know the plot. So I'd be like, oh, you didn't read it, huh?
No.
All right, so we've been stealing pudding from the hospital. I'm just curious to know if you're going to still be like that in the new round.
No.
All right, good.
You annoy me more than I ever thought possible, but I want to spend every irritating minute with you.
What commonalities do Turk and myself have? Turk is completely in love with his wife, and I am that.
Excuse me, what did we agree you would do whenever I left a room?
Oh, I'm sorry, baby.
Turk is dominated by his wife. I am that as well.
Afraid of her?
Pow! Zap!
Turk is definitely afraid of his wife. I am that as well.
We're not finished yet.
I know we're not finished yet. See, I didn't say we were finished yet. But really, baby, it's up to you.
I'm the type of guy that doesn't like to get into arguments with his wife because I know I'll have to apologize after for getting her upset and getting into the argument with her. I should have never thought about arguing in the first place.
What are their non-wife things? Turk and Donald both love basketball.
That's gay.
Yes, and they're both old now, too.
Are you gonna stretch before you play basketball or what?
They're both very silly.
I am a serious man now. This is the new serious Donald Faison
He's
People
auditioned-
magazine.
You know, I was directing this new Steve Carell show for HBO, and I told Donald a story. We both love Steve Carell. And I told him one thing that's fascinating about directing Steve is that between action and cut, he's one of the funniest people alive. But then when you cut, he's kind of serious and a bit quiet.
Sort of like
and
Robin
Donald,
Williams.
because he wants to be like Steve Carell, is like, that's how I'm going to do it from now on. And I'm like, starting when?
Right now.
Because he's decided that in this new incarnation, when we're not shooting, he's going to be quiet and serious.
So what you're seeing right now is the new version
It's
of
the
it.
new incarnation.
And so if you notice, I haven't
By the way,
jumped around or
Guarantee you,
I've
day
sipped my
one, he's
coffee
going
a
to
couple
be
of times.
pounding Red Bulls, jumping around.
I've sipped my coffee a couple of times. That hasn't affected me. I don't think a Red Bull will affect me.
Turk
right?
and Donald both love musicals.
I do love musicals.
We're going up, up, up.
K-pop Demon Hunter is my new jam right now. Thanks to my daughter Wilder. She put me on. She's the plug. And I do love musicals. I can't wait for Wicked.
Wicked Part 2. Tell the audience down the barrel of that lens how many times you saw Wicked in the theaters.
4.
Yep.
But ask me how many times I saw La La Land in the theaters.
How many times did you see La La Land in the theater?
Not as much because I got the screener, and so I just watched it at home all
Oh,
the
well,
time.
then why did you tee me up for a disappointing...
Because I wanted everybody to know that I've seen La La Land quite a few times.
Donald went through a period where he would, he was tweet, back in the day when we were all on Twitter, Donald loved La La Land so much that he would get on the plane, put on La La Land, drink too much, and then he would tweet like, I don't understand, like there's so many jazz clubs in Paris. Why can't he go to Paris with her? He would drunk tweet watching La La Land over and over again. And I would know where he was because I would like check Twitter back in the day and he'd be like, oh, he's drunk tweeting about La La Land. He must be on a plane.
I love La La Land.
Welcome to Sacred
We knew that we wanted to do a podcast, and we knew that we wanted to talk about Scrubs with our fans and stuff like that.
I can't believe it, but guess what, guys? We're going to do a Scrubs rewatch podcast.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. But it happening during literally week 1 of our podcast, COVID happened. And that changed the trajectory of what we were going to talk about. It wasn't just going to be about Scrubs anymore. We were going to also talk about the first responders who we were playing on the show. We were going to talk about all of these people that were putting their lives on the line to do their jobs. And I think that's one of the reasons why the podcast was so successful, because we shined a light on people who never had a light shined on them in that way.
Just gave us something to do. You know, we went through a really tough time. We lost a very close friend to COVID. And it just gave us something to focus on. It gave us, we knew we had some sort of a purpose, and the purpose felt like we're gonna make some people laugh. Hopefully, we're gonna reminisce. We're gonna make them feel good. We're gonna joke around and reminisce about our old show, and people that love the show could sort of join the club. And that's what I think a podcast is. Like you feel like, oh, you're sort of in a club. You have the same inside jokes, and you appreciate the people, and so that's what we did. We sort of made this little club, and then it became quite popular, and we thought, oh well, we should keep doing this. We just actually ended it because we felt like we were ready to move on, maybe do something else.
And you have a whole show.
Well, now obviously it goes without saying, like, well, now we have to actually go make the show, so we don't have time to really make the podcast right now.
Well, fast forward to that. I mean, 15 years after you filmed the last episode, I think was the stat. What can you tell us?
Anything I could think to tell you will get in trouble. I just know that
Everybody's coming back. We could say that.
not for all the episodes just because of scheduling and everything, but we can say that it is our hope and goal that everyone will be back for some. We could say it's on ABC primetime and that'll be on Hulu the next day. We can say that.
And it's going to be great.
And it's going to be amazing, actually.
And that
I could say I'm directing the pilot. What else? That's it.
I'm an executive producer. I think the story is also still, a lot of the story still holds up too. You know what I mean? It is about, you're still following your favorite doctors, your heroes to some people. And so I think whatever is going on in their life is interesting to quite a few people. And I still feel like regardless of what's happened from season 1 through 9, the core story is still there and people really want to see that.
Yeah, I know it's blocking the stairs, but people can walk around, right?
You're the greatest. Get over here. You're my bear.
That's right.
Growl for me.
We FaceTime a lot is what it is.
We FaceTime a lot. He doesn't really leave his house ever. And so it's better to communicate with him via FaceTime.
FaceTime or text. If I don't really know you, text.
He also doesn't really text back that much.
Because I don't know certain people.
What I do is I do a group text with his wife, and she replies.
Their text relationship is way better than our text.
I basically have a text relationship with his wife that Donald occasionally weighs in on.
Yes.
That's the truth.
That is honest to goodness truth.
And I'll only weigh in if it's like Star Wars related
or Marvel
or Disneyland.
Right. Disney, Marvel,
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He won't just reply to a normal text.
Well, you guys talk about the shows that you like.
I know, but also if I'm like, how are you guys doing? He won't reply. She'll be like, we're great.
She's the, you know.
That's what happens.
He's goddad to your kids.
He is the godfather of my children.
Yes.
It's good, you know.
See them that
he
much.
does.
They're very busy.
No,
They
listen.
live far away.
Let's keep it 100. He's not the biggest kid person on the
No,
planet.
that's not true. I like kids.
When they're quiet.
Well, they don't need to be making all that ruckus.
My kids are very energetic and loud and.
No, I like your kids. Why are you implying I don't
look,
like your kids?
I know you love my kids.
They're great.
You love
They're
my
beautiful. They're they're wonderful children. They're both very sweet and charismatic and both really excelling at the things they're interested in. She's into dance, he's into basketball, and Donald is a very good dad. He's very involved with all these things. In fact, so much so that I'm like, you're at that friggin' basketball game again? Like every weekend, there's so many basketball games. If he's not sleeping, he's in a gymnasium being like, come on, Rocco!
Rocco can never say, you were never there for me, Dad.
No,
never.
Rocco can definitely not
Never
say
say
to
that.
his therapist, he was never there for me.
Wilder can't say that shit either.
She's going to be in talking to her shrink me like, my godfather was never there.
You know what's funny was that my daughter says to me, you know, Dad, am I going to be a hairy person? And I go, no, you know, I'm not really hairy. Your mom's not really hairy. And she goes, yeah, but Uncle Zach is. And I'm like,
I'm not hairy.
And I'm like, she's like, he has hair all over his legs and chest. And I'm like, oh, no, sweetie. He's your godfather. He's not really related to you.
Oh.
She thought that because...
This story's crazy. She thought...
Because
first of all, I don't have a lot of chest hair.
You got hair on your leg. Hold on.
I'm going to pull up my shirt on
You don't
this.
want to show the abs?
On my legs, I got hair, yeah.
Yeah. So she's like, she for some reason...
I don't have like a sweater.
No, you don't have a sweater. But she for some reason thought that she could possibly have hairy legs because her Uncle Zach did.
This story's bad.
It is bad, but it's true.